What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we diving into a Dimir Delver tokeny kind of style deck. It's a little bit of a aggro slash mid-rangey slash tempo deck that consists around playing a couple cards that one being Delver of Secrets. If you don't know what this card is, essentially it's a 1 mana 1/1. At the beginning of our upkeep, we get to look at the top card of our library. If it's an instant or sorcery card, we get to reveal it, and then we get to transform Delver into a 3/2. That is the one card of the deck. The other cards in the deck that are also kind of using this non-creature spells to our advantage, one being Sedgemoor Witch. If you haven't seen this card, whenever we cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, we get to create a 1/1 black-green pest creature token with whenever it dies, we gain a life, as well as Poppet Stitcher, which is kind of the other key card in the deck when it comes to our tokens that we are producing, that whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, we create 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Decayed is that mechanic from Innistrad that whenever we attack with it, we sacrifice it at the end of our combat step. And at the beginning of our upkeep, if we control 3 or more creature tokens, we may transform Poppet Stitcher into its other side, which is Poppet Factory. Creature tokens we control lose all abilities, base power and toughness of 3/3, and at the beginning of our upkeep, you may transform Poppet Factory. So the idea here is, if worst case scenario, if somehow all our tokens get wiped out, we can always flip it back over and have Poppet Stitcher back onto the battlefield to then generate more tokens to then, re-trigger this all over again and do it all over. Outside of that, this deck plays like a tempo-y control style deck, as having some spot removal, some things that kind of slow your opponent down for what it's trying to do, and a lot of cantrip, a lot of cheap spells that allow us to kind of take advantage of being able to possibly multi-spell on the same turn. Just a lot of things that just definitely try to take advantage of us gaining benefits from us casting non-creature spells. Outside of Delver Secrets and the 1-drops, we have Consider here to look at the top card of our library. We may put it into the graveyard, and then we get to draw a card at instant speed. We have Fade in Hope, which is a very good bounce spell. It's pretty much non-summon, and then if we bounce something back with mana value 3 or less, we get to scry 1, which is also very good. You see a Guard Approach. It either taps target creature, or target creature we control gains hexproof to end turn. So essentially, it's Blue's version of kind of like a Snakeskin Veil. Malakir Rebirth, just in case they decide to try to kill one of our creatures, we get to choose that creature. We lose 2 life in the process, and then whenever this creature dies, we return to the battlefield tapped under our control, which is definitely very good. Or we can play it as the land side, depending on what the matchup is and what the situation is. We also have Jawari Disruption, definitely very beneficial on the tempo-y side of things, because most of your other decks that are also trying to play things on curve are going to tap out in the early game, making this counterspell very effective very early, and then worst case scenario, we draw it in the late game. We can always play it as the tap land as we get into the later game. Infernal Grasp as some of our spot removals, Safe and Insight. Why not play our own our opponent's creatures, our opponent's spells against them? And then we can do it twice. We get to look at the top 2 cards of opponent's library, exile one of them face down, other one on the bottom of their library. We play the exiled card as remains exiled, and spend any mana as mana of that color to play that particular spell. So definitely a very good card there at instant speed. Like I said, we already have Poppet Stitcher as kind of one of our other things that generates tokens. Solindy Vision, maybe looking for that particular sorcery or instant spell to counteract, to maybe get to, bounce something, to counter something. Whatever it is, we have Solindy Vision. We also played it as the Isle on the other side. Saw it coming. Yet again, counter spells definitely slowing our opponent down, maybe, not allow them to gum up the board and allow us to maybe attack in a little bit more effectively. Academy's Awakening has 2 copies, just in case, we get some sort of board wipe. We can always Academes, get our creatures back onto the battlefield with a converted mana cost X or less, or we can play it as a, untapped land for if we pay the 3 life, which is definitely very good there. And Beholding Multiverse as a card that we can always foretell, and then also maybe, give the illusion that maybe we have a counter spell in the foretell zone, or maybe in Allred's Epiphany because you are playing blue. But in reality, we just have a 2 mana draw 2 spell later in the game that we get to scry 2 and then draw 2 cards. And then the mana base is pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. We have Hall of the Storm Giants, just because I do think it's pretty effective to have, some sort of, aggressive land just in the case in the late game. Definitely in a Dimir style deck, it's definitely very good. 5 islands, 1 Hive of the Eye Tyrant, which is definitely very good as well. If our opponent has any things that they want to try to get back from the graveyard, this kind of eats them. 1 Swamp, 4 of the Clearwater Pathways, and 4 of the Shipwreck Marsh. We are going to dive into an event with this deck, kind of see how we do. If we make even money, we'll hopefully benefit from that. If not, we'll see how the deck does overall against the meta as a whole. Let's see how we do. All right. Draw. Okay. Let's see if we can actually get a game this time around. I don't know what happened last time. Opponent goes first. Hand's not the greatest. The mana base is a little meh. but it is okay enough. I mean, hopefully our opponent's not playing something super aggressive. Blue. All right, Shuffler's fine, just because we drew all of our Stripek Marshes. Well, we have one more, but we're not going to draw one more. At least I don't think. Yeah. Delver. What do we got? Reveal? Yeah, it's fine. And we'll say go. And turn. Let's see. Our opponent possibly may... Yeah. Get a land. Play a second red. Smolder an egg. That's fine. Pass to attackers. We'll kill the egg, because we don't need them to have dragons. Decline. That's unfortunate. And turn. I guess they're reading what it does. Maybe they haven't seen Delver. Unexpected. No. Decline. Popper Stitcher. Poppet Stitcher. Alright, let's just hope that they don't have something super crazy. Deluge is fine. Main phase Deluge. Interesting. Consider. We'll decline. Reveal. We'll swing in for 5. And we'll say go. I mean, they don't have enough to do all runs this turn, which is good for us. So we're definitely in a good spot. That's fine. While they don't have anything going on, why don't we take a look? Sure. All right, they're gonna do 4 to us. Anything else to follow that up? My turn. Why don't we take another card? Sure. I still get my zombie. Transform. Hit you for 9. And 1 turn. We're definitely in a good spot here. See if they attack. Divide by 0 could be really clutch here if they have something to, you know, do it. I mean, they don't... Sure. I'll let them draw. They could have counter open. Swinging in. Okay. That's 6 mana, 8 mana. I don't think it's enough for anything. I'm at 10. Divide. Yes. All right, we're on the play. It's not great, but it's got stuff. So I guess we keep. Since I'm not really doing anything turn 1, might as well play that tapped. See what happens. Kind of want to see what they're playing. Mono white. That's fine. Just gotta keep the board clean. Keep the board clean. Sure. What do you want? Take our land. Taking Siphon Insight. Nothing's too crazy here that I don't think there's really a clear answer what they would want to take here. Nothing really slows them down per se. Like Multiverse could be good because I could draw 2 next turn. Sure. Should have took the land, I think, if I was them. Yep. Sure. I don't know why they didn't tap extra. I guess they're just trying to get wide. Huh. Sure. Yep. Or we put it out in the air, I guess. Yeah. Makes sense. Take 8. We'll draw 2. I think that's a little late. Sedgemoor Witch is not bad. Jawari's meh. I mean, because they're not going to tap out, right? I mean, I could always make them tap it. Make them pay the 1 extra. I don't. It doesn't really matter here because they just give Ardeline flying and then they swing in. Yep. Yep. Tough. What happened? All right. Let's see how this goes. Opponent goes first. Their hand's a 1-hand, well, 2-hander, but we're on the play. I guess we keep green. Yeah, I guess we play Hall of Storm Giants because we do a lot with it. I should have played Delver, I think. Oh, Simic. Interesting. Can't be blocked. Okay. I don't think it's in any sort of way of us. We'll play Delver. We'll say go. We'll bounce it. Second Delver is not great if we're going to try to flip Delver. That's fine. Decline. take the trade here. See if they want to. Nope, they do not. We'll do Sedgemoor, I think, is the stronger play, just because they gotta pay 3 life if they want to target it. Yep. Draw a card, discard a card. A little bit of a looter effect, pretty cool. All right, we got Ghoul Collar Harvest. Ooh, some weird hijinks going on here. I'm not really sure, but interesting. Reveal. Yeah, we'll see. Go. You're gonna give me another untapped mana? We'll take that. Resolve. Yeah, I mean, I'll take an untapped mana source into play. I guess I don't have swamps. Can't do anything. Draw a card, sure. Are we tapping out? Two. Interesting. I'm kind of interested on why they did that. But I mean, to each their own, I guess. Ooh, they're playing like big things. I like this. Well, Agadeem's for 3. Yeah, I guess. We'll see what happens. If they have another Mehook, that's big on them. But shot my shot. Dreadhound. Interesting. Take 1. Decline. Swing for 3. End turn. They have a lot of mana. Lots and lots of mana. What does this do? Create X, where X is half the number of creature cards in your graveyard rounded up. Old Sticky Fingers. Alright. Wow. Wow. Resolve all. Yeah, I think that's game, right? Transform. Reveal. GG's. Yeah, that's 12. That was fun. All right, opponent goes first. Hand's definitely more playable in the last game, I think, here. So we'll keep. Green. Something green. Delver. Delver. Green white. Processing keepers. Sure. Reveal. Oh, we did it. We did it. We'll play a black and we'll go. I don't know where to put it in my hand. What do we got going on here? Is this the land deck? We're doing a lot of lands. Environmental sciences, sure. We'll scry. So now they have no board presence. We'll take another Fate and Hope. Play Marsh. Swing for 3. 14. Pop it. Pop, drop, and lock it. So I mean, the question is, do they play? They could play Innkeeper, Environmental, get a land, play land, possibly play something else. Yasharn. Okay, get a land, play land, play Innkeeper. Yeah. I think we wait for them to do their thing. Skewed Swarm? Sure. We'll get rid of the one. So you get the trigger, but no blocks. That's the damage. You gonna play the other one? They just want to replay it. Sure. Can I get a land? Well, I mean, I put that on top of my library, so I knew I wasn't gonna get a land. Do they play another one? That is the question. Counter. They're at 10. We gotta play stuff. That I don't think is the play. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. Okay, so take 6. Sure. Lots of mana. Got more creatures. That's fine. Rentis gets you lands or makes you a big giant tree. I don't think that's bad news bears for me. Finally got another land, which is plus. We'll take Another black source. I'll say go. I'm not in any pressure. Yep. 2 lands. Did I have enough to cast that? Another tree folk. That's fine. Is there a way to get out of this is the question. Another wren. Sure. Seven.
Prepare for war.
You have another one, I'm assuming? I'll take a look now. Line. Feel? What do I need in this situation here? What's gonna get through? I'll wait and see how this plays out. They have a lot of land. Just gotta wait for him to leave an opening. I take a look first.
The land lends us its power.
Okay. Fortunately, couldn't get in quick enough. Got him close, but they stabilized. Oh, we're facing the Niv Mizzet. Opponent goes first. Hand's not great. Not really anything threatening, but we have some stuff to slow our opponent down. On the draw, so we could always mulligan. It is technically a 3-lander, but yeah, this is better. Guess we'll put back the consider. Agadeem's the land. Gassed. Okay, so we're playing some deck that's... we'll play Agadeem's into play tapped. Not doing anything on turn 1. I'm not going to Fade in Hope a Shambling Ghast. Mono Black, it looks like. So what is Mono Black trying to do here? Say go. I guess they're just going to ramp up to things. Morbid Opportunist. We'll take a look at your top 2. Let's take some stuff. We'll take a black land because the other land doesn't really do much for us. Sure. Get a treasure. We'll destroy that first. Sure. Get a land, play a thing. We'll say go. See if they target it. I mean, it's possible. Sure.
Under my tutelage, even you can master death. It was going to die eventually anyway.
Sedgemore again. We'll say go. Yep.
Let's go.
Sure. Is that really a good attack? I know what they're going to do here. Take my counter or take my removal? You now remove it. Taking 5 life. You are really digging there.
Come on, there's gotta be something useful. Ugh.
No blocks, I'll take 1. Do it. And we are back. So, I mean, overall, the deck performed okay. Nothing too amazing. At 2 and 3, not the best. I do think there was a couple times we got kind of mana screwed in a way. It's one of those things you just can't predict. I mean, multiple of the hands that I think got mana screwed on got stuck like turn 3 or turn 4. I drew a hand that had 2 or 3 lands in it that had 2 actual lands and like one or two possible like lands if I needed to use them as the modal lands. But nonetheless, when the deck did work, it was actually pretty interesting. Definitely one of those decks that can surprise your opponent. It is one of those things I do think benefits from being on the draw or being on the play than on the draw, just because certain cards are just that much better when you have that tempo of going first in that sense. But with that being said, I mean, if this is kind of a deck where you want to, if this is something you want to play, where you create some tokens, create like a token army, use the benefits of like Sesmore Witch and Poppet Stitcher, maybe remove the Delver of Secrets and maybe put something else in there. Maybe in the earlier game, maybe just set things up. Maybe a Shambling Gas is a possibility. But nonetheless, I mean, overall, pretty fun deck. Definitely one of those ones that you can mess around with if this is something you're into. If not, wait until Crimson Vow, maybe switches things up, add some newness to everything. But with that being said, if you like the video, hit that like button. It definitely helps out a lot. If you're new here, when I post new videos on the channel, hit that subscribe button. But with that being said, I'll see you later.